more it's
Hey y'all, what's happening? Let's get it crackin' on Segway Media. Hey y'all, what's happening? Let's get it crackin'. Segway Media. Segway Media. Segway Media.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm D. Alexander. We have Julia here, and for the first time, Christina. Just wanted to give Christina the opportunity to introduce herself. So you could start with that.
Okay, I am Christina Perucci, and I have been going to Carmichael Underground training for about 3 years. 3 years this summer. And my background is as a reading teacher and now a professor at San Jose State.
Sweet. And also Shreddy Betty.
which will tell you the last 5 minutes of the podcast what that means.
So I know you had a really good question on the drive over here that I wanted to start with. If you want to go ahead and throw one or two of them out there.
Yeah, so, for me, Cut is kind of the first gym that I've ever really stuck with. And so I think a lot about what gets in the way of people sticking with the gym, because it is really hard to stick with the gym depending on, a lot of different factors. So I'm curious to know how you guys approach working with people who have trouble staying committed. What do you see that gets in people's way, and how do you work with them to stick with what they hope to achieve?
The first things that I focus on are commitment and consistency. Without the right commitment, you won't have the consistency you're looking for, or that I need to help them accomplish it. And life can throw all sorts of stuff at you that pulls you away from the gym. And I don't fully understand why people respond by immediately cutting out the gym, because I think that's like a staple in your day, just like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating food, drinking water. Like, working out has been proven to help in many different ways. So I try to just remind people, it's not a good idea not to work out, even if you don't come to Cut. If you work out somewhere or you like getting outdoors, I like to play sports. It's an outlet, gets you out of your head, gets you to check into your body for a little while. And then I think for everyone, it's a per case basis. What about you?
I think in terms of myself and going to the gym, I had gym memberships my whole entire life, and it wasn't until recently I decided to go to a gym that had a personal trainer, and I just think I got to the point where I knew my way wasn't working, and I never stayed consistent with it. So I needed accountability, and I needed someone to answer to, or because I don't like to let people down. So for me, it was, well, if I'm accountable to someone other than me, then I'm going to be more disciplined. And then I think discipline is also another key element of I just need to make it a priority. I need to make sure this is part of my plan, and this is, like you said, it isn't a if or when, it's a yes, at 8 o'clock on Mondays I go to the gym, on Wednesdays I go to the gym, on Fridays I go to the gym. And with dance, it's a little bit different. Not exactly, but there's goals. So there's usually that end goal of performing on stage, or getting to that goal of hitting that specific turn or that jump. So I think goals are important too.
Yeah.
So like my gym goals are to be healthier and be consistent. I think when you start to get older, you need to lift weights. That was a big thing that I wasn't doing, and I was finding things getting harder as a dance instructor, and I just knew that dance wasn't cutting it either, so I needed something more. So, yeah.
I know that, Alex, you talk with everybody when they start. You find out what their goals are. You don't just say, okay, you don't make an assumption about what it is they're hoping to do when they come in.
Yeah, some people don't even know how to choose goals. So then that's sometimes where it starts. But yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'd ask, what are your top 3 fitness goals? And then with that, some people have extravagant goals. Some people have very basic ones. Some people don't even know how to answer. So off just that one question alone, I kind of get a idea of what I've got to do in that first session, because I have to try and not look too far down the road. I have to think of this session showing that I can help them accomplish that goal by doing this. Then you have to remind them that you're going to have to be consistent for like 3 to 6 months before you get the change in the way your body looks. But that doesn't happen fast enough for most people to stay consistent.
I agree.
Do you ever try to influence their goal setting to help them with that idea that it's not like, if they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds, and you're like, well, actually, reality is like it actually takes time, and it's like building in a new routine into your life. It's not a quick fix. Like there's this there's a gym that I drive past in Arden that's called like Insta Physique or something like that, and I laugh every time I see it. I'm like, how is that like? That's false advertising.
Yeah.
You know, how can you sell yourself as like this place where it's like automatically you have a new physique?
That'd be cool.
That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. That's why might be why people don't stay consistent, because in their minds they didn't get that immediate, whatever they were looking for. It didn't happen, and then they go searching for the new one.
Yeah.
Another shiny ball, and then they kind of get stuck in this constant loop of never getting the results they want, because I think consistency got lost somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
and it was like
the commitment was never strong enough. Like you don't get to the consistency with a wishy-washy commitment.
But if they're always being promised, well, they can
Insta
do it
physique.
for you. I can do it for you. Like I can get you there in 2 weeks,
It's
right?
not realistic,
So
though.
it's not, and it's not healthy, and it usually
Yeah, and if you get there that quickly, it's not sustainable.
that.
Yeah, we're trying to build a lifestyle, which it's going to take time. A lot of the people took them years to get really unhealthy. So you think you're going to just like reverse that in an instant? No. It's going to take probably a year of consistency to get like a full transformation, but some people don't fully commit from the get-go. They kind of like dip their toes in, and then that's why those first 3 goals are really important to accomplish within your first 3 months. So hopefully they're not huge goals. If they are, I do like give them like a realist point of view. Like that goal, probably not attainable. Like right now I'm working with Dan's mom, and today specifically she got frustrated with herself because she feels like she's not making progress. But she's made tons of growth. For anyone that doesn't know this situation, it's a lady that has been severely injured. She broke 5 different bones in her leg, and hasn't been able to walk since November. So just in 7 months, she's now up and walking, which is a huge leap in abilities. But in her mind, she hasn't made that much progress. So like that's an extreme growth, but sometimes it's people's perspective that needs to be shifted.
Do you guys think that the mindsets of people is starting to change due to the fact that so many people have had failed results from that quick fix?
Oh yeah, they're like traumatized.
Well, I mean, for women specifically, we were always told calorie deficit, exercise constantly, starve yourself. And then most of us ended up on this yo-yo, up and down, up and down. And then when we weren't starving ourselves, we gained tons of weight, and then it would triple, and then we're just in this constant loop. So I think most of us were lied to for a very long time. The gimmicks, the propaganda, all the garbage they threw out there, and now I think people are starting to go, wait a minute, like this is not working.
And I think for me, part of what has made it easier to stick with going to the gym as much as I do is that I had different goals going into it. I wasn't trying to get skinny. That wasn't my primary goal. My primary goal was, like you were saying, like I was having trouble like just functioning, you know, doing things that are just part of life. Not necessarily things I wanted to do, like vacuuming. Like, darn it, I can't vacuum. This is really bringing me down. But, you know, but really it's like, you know, I'm too young to be feeling this debilitated, and there's no need for that. So, and I think it was a combination of that motivation and then also the kind of gym that Cut is, where, you know, there is a huge focus on building your strength. It isn't just like get skinny.
Actually, not at all. Like I haven't even heard that as a, I don't know, like even when I brought it up to Alex, like, you know, the scale's kind of hanging out, not moving, but I've been consistent for what, 6 months now? I don't know. I've been consistent for a while.
When did you start, January or February?
I don't remember, but I
6 or
know I've
7.
been consistent for the longest I've ever been consistent in my whole entire life in terms of weightlifting. And I feel 1,000 times different. Like everything feels different. My clothes feel different. The way I mean, I'm hiking 10 miles. It's insanity. Like I would never hike in my life, like, or run. And then my dancing also, it's just like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, look at my leg. I can still do it, and it doesn't hurt, and I'm not in pain. So I think that's the other part of it. So yeah, it was never, and maybe that's part of the thing that kind of made me go, okay, maybe this is the right place. Like I need to do it the right way this time, not the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, you had certain muscles that weren't firing, and that
Oh,
blows my mind. Like, hey,
mine too.
where are you feeling it? You're supposed to feel it here. And you're like, nope. Don't feel it there.
I'm like, there's no muscle there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we were talking about this the other day, this idea of a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, and how being, you know, as you get older, I feel like it's very common for people to stop doing things, trying new things, and being in positions where they are like maybe looking a little stupid, or like, you know, failing miserably at something because they're trying something new. And, you know, I think that has an impact on the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. So you go to the gym and you're like, you can't just walk in and like deadlift 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. Like you just can't do that. You have to work up to it. So you got to try, and you'll make progress, and then you'll probably backslide, and you try again. And I think there's a lot of personal growth that comes through that has nothing to do with the physical aspects of it. It's just this like challenging yourself and seeing yourself succeed and try hard things, and things that, like I always say, like these are things that I never imagined that I would do. I never thought that I would be deadlifting.
That or running around the block. I was like, what? Dancers don't run.
They should.
Wait, what? No, you're totally right. We should. It's not good that we don't do that.
Yeah, I remember a story you shared to me about you doing some type of yard work. I want to say picking up a planter and moving it, and your husband asked if like you need some help or something, and then you had this confidence about you, like, no, I got this. And you're probably more capable than lifting stuff now than him.
Yeah, in many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like a proud trainer moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
So, I was wondering if if your definition of success has changed over time,
Absolutely.
either like personal success or, you know, with your business or for other people. Like how, in your clients, how do you define success, and has that changed?
Oh, tremendously. I think I've always was an entrepreneur. Like that was just in my blood. And in my 20s, I think I had every multi-level business, this business, that business. I was a makeup artist. I mean, I was all over the place trying to figure it out. But I think in my younger years, it was always, if you weren't making money or if you failed and you weren't successful, like, you know, it was difficult to kind of like understand that, okay, I just had to keep going no matter what. And then it wasn't until I opened up the skin gym, the esthetician, and it was, my mindset was like, I don't care what happens, this is going to work. And it was a rough 4 years of pure crying, asking myself what the heck was I thinking. But I sold my car, like I took the bus, like I was so determined, and there wasn't any other option. It was going to happen, and it did. So I think,
And that's the commitment.
and it was, and then the success was just more of feeling good about the fact that I stayed persistent and I didn't give up. And it was nice to have financial freedom for a moment. And then COVID hit. So then now it's also a little bit more where I really want to just feel good about what I'm doing. I want to not just be about, okay, well, I made a lot of money, that was great, or I love what I do, or I don't know, like I successfully became this business person, but at the same time, what am I doing out in the community, like to change things? Like it's a little bit bigger, I guess, more. Like I want to do bigger things, and I want to help more people. And I don't know. I think, yeah, I do definitely changes for sure.
Yeah, mine definitely changed. I'd say like when I first became a trainer, I hadn't gone through my divorce yet. I hadn't left CalFit to open my gym, and I had like this idea in my head of what success would look like and how I would get there, the amount of time it would take. Was wrong on all of them. So as far as like success to me now is like being happy with where you're at, understanding you can do more, you're capable of more, but not beating yourself up about it. That was something that like I had this anger within myself, like that would, I don't know. I think I dove into like fighting in tackle football just to let out the aggression. So now I do not have that same anger and aggression inside of me. So that's part of me being successful, is like learning the way I tick, what makes me happy, what makes me sad, what makes me angry. Managing them differently, which it took a lot of self-work. Making sure when I'm in like those angry modes, I don't let that negatively affect other people. When I'm in the sad modes, don't crawl into a shell and isolate. What's the other one? When I'm happy, enjoy the moment, be in the moment, soak it in, because that's not stuff that was exactly taught to me. I've had to figure it out over time, trial and error. So yeah, I used to think success was like making a lot of money, having the most popular brand or business, but now that's not exactly the way I look at it. Like, yeah, that'd be great. The younger version of me would love to see that happen, but the older version of me is successful right now. Like, I have some pretty amazing people around me, which is the biggest part of my success. It's going to continue to bring me more success, but the 20-year-old version of me probably wouldn't be too happy about it.
Same. There's just more gratefulness for, or being grateful for, just where I'm at in the process and being like, yeah, this is good. So, yeah, definitely changed for sure. And then now I'm just like, whatever. I mean, I think you fail enough times, you're just kind of like, whatever, it's part of the process.
Yeah.
So you get over that too. I think when I was younger, I'd be like, man. And then now I'm like, okay, I learned from that and I'm going to move on. So that growth mindset.
That growth mindset.
Changing my mindset has also developed and grown and changed. And yeah.
And I know that, Alex, you bring that into your practice with clients, specifically with when you hate it when people say, I can't do that. And that, it's like, okay, you can't do that yet, but we're going to work up to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that something that you also bring into your practice?
We try not to say I can't. So if we do, we try to correct it. I think I'm very fortunate to also work at the college because I get more time to work on things like mindset, and I have more time within my structured curriculum to speak about those things, talk about nutrition, talk about mindset, talk about overcoming your fears, and it's okay to fall down. And one of the professors there started a thing where if you fell, we all clap for you as long as you didn't hurt. But, we would clap for you because it just meant that you were really pushing yourself and you were trying really hard. So absolutely. If you don't somehow try to manage the culture and the mindset, it can become, when you have that many competitive people in the same room who are, especially in a dance environment where they're wanting to be in the front, or they're, sometimes it's really important that the focus isn't always on that. The focus is more on you and your growth. And yeah, definitely no can't. And then everybody has that solid, like that. We all have that. Everybody will call my good side and my bad side. So we try to say, well, there's the good side and the harder side. So, and use the good side to help the other side. So there's ways, definitely the same thing where we try to articulate our words, because words matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what are some things that you do to try to build that culture of growth mindset?
I would say one of the best ways of doing it is catching people on their off days. The fact that they're willing to speak to me about some of the stuff that's going on in their life that they may not have shared with anyone else in the gym environment. Sometimes I have to take them aside, help them walk through their emotions and still accomplish what they set out to do. What's an example? So recently, Julia's been going through a tough day. Not gonna divulge anything more than that, but she's still here doing this with us, and I think that's a success. That would be something that I'd let her know. Right now, I'm letting you know it's a huge deal that you're still here, and however you're managing it, it's big on you to be here and be a part of this.
thank you. It wasn't an easy day.
Yeah. It's, we all have tough days, but it doesn't mean we get to tuck our tail and hide in a corner.
I mean, it does sound a little nice, though. Like, it was a thought.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
But it's always better to get up and get out there.
So I do really good with the negative emotions that people deal with, and then I try to do my best to put myself in their shoes, be as positive and uplifting as I can, but also being real. 'Cause sometimes people are going through tough times and they're not that tough. And then I don't give that too much attention, because then they could be just attention seeking. But if they're going through a tough time, and another girl that was training at the gym recently is going through some extreme stuff, and I'm like, have you talked to anyone else about this? And she's like, I don't really have anyone to talk to, and it may not be my space to give very good advice, but one of the biggest things I could do is just be like a safe space to talk to, and I'll listen. I might not have much to say, but the fact that you get it off your chest probably helps a lot. Sometimes those are my most favorite sessions, is where there might not be a lot of people in the gym, and someone just is able to get something off their chest, and then they're like, oh, I feel so much better. Then they get into their workout, they crush it, they move on with their life.
Well, and going back to what you're saying about, people saying I can't, I feel like there's got to be a balance there of like knowing how far you can push someone when they say I can't, or like a specific approach to use to inch them to the edge to get them to realize, okay, well, I can do it, or I can at least try, or, whatever, get over that fear of looking stupid or failing or whatever it is that's preventing them from doing it. Knowing how far you can push them, or knowing the right way to push them.
That. Because they're all different. Like, I might be able to be a little more short and to the point with some, and then others
Jokey,
I know. Yeah. Others I'm like, let's ease into this. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's tough, because you got to manage people.
When I first became a trainer, I would sneak weight onto their stuff.
I think you still
when
do.
you first became a trainer?
Wait a minute.
No, but I was way more sly about it, because I was in a big gym. I could send them across the gym to grab a drink of water. So while they're gone, I would slip it on. Now I'm like,
Now he just puts it on there.
Now I'm not
wait,
even trying to hide
how
it.
much
Just like
is that?
turn around for a second and turn back, and you're like, wait.
He's like, no, you don't want to know that. You're not supposed to know. I'm like, well, okay. That's funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't even talk to them about it. Now it's obvious. Everybody sees it happening. But yeah, it is a fine line. But over time, you kind of can just tell who can take more, who can't handle it. You just see the levels, and I've had this conversation before, and some people don't like being labeled or judged, whatever you want to call it. But if you're the trainer and have the most experience, it's kind of your place to do it.
Yeah, I try to constantly remind them of that too. Like, it is my job. I am here to help, like, also help you. Like, if I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, that looks great. Yeah, you're doing great. And it's really not great.
Yeah.
Then what am I? I'm not helping you. I'm not doing you any favors.
Nobody's perfect.
I'm a liar. So,
Yeah.
You want me to give you that feedback. And I think being honest and having those conversations helps too. Because then they're like, oh, you're not just saying, this because you're trying to pick on me. Like, you're actually trying to help me get better.
That also makes the praise a lot more valuable too, because then they know it's authentic. Because you've also given them like constructive feedback, so they know that you're not just like,
And there's ones I'll give more to,
flattering them.
because there's some I know, like, okay, they want it, they can take it, I'm gonna give it all to you. And then there's some who I'm like, I'll just
Like one or two.
tiny stuff, and I always try
a
to
sandwich.
give the positive, like,
Yeah.
this is going great, like, here, but then what if we do this? So I don't know. I feel like it's like something you really have to work hard at, like, because you have to be careful, because you can hurt people's feelings
Yes.
if you're, not careful with how you move in that space.
Sure.
So that's not the easiest part of it, especially with kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know, even my college kids, even adults sometimes,
Yeah.
they're more sensitive than my kids.
Yeah.
So
Well, and obviously that, like, depending on what they got from their parents, if they got a lot of, you're the best, oh my God, you're the most amazing kid, here's a gold medal for going down the
Here's your
slide or
teacher.
whatever.
Hey.
You're the slide champion.
No medals in here. There's no trophies.
Like kids go down the slide and parents are like, good job.
Right.
It's gravity, guys. It's like, it happens to everybody.
That. That's too funny. Yeah, that's a lot to navigate. But I don't know. I think I must like doing it, or I still wouldn't be doing it. So
Yeah, so what is the most rewarding thing for you guys? Or what are the most rewarding situations?
there's so many.
There
I've-
is.
Yeah, I really, there's just so many. I mean, watching kids grow and see them because I've been doing this for so long. I have kids I started out with when they were 7, 8 years old, and now they're full grown adults, like doing great things. I will say that's why I like social media, because I think if we didn't have it, I wouldn't really get to keep in contact and see that, how and what dance and all of that, how it was able to affect their life. And then getting to hear their stories. Or you run into one you haven't seen in like forever. I actually, a couple months ago, I was trying to buy a throne for my Nutcracker off of like
Thought you meant a
Facebook
toilet.
Marketplace. So I texted, I'm like, hey, how much for your throne? And then she texted me back, she's like, Miss Julia? And I'm like, hey. And she's like, it's Shelby from Newcastle School, middle school I taught at, I don't know, forever ago. And she's grown up, married a dancer, so they do like social dance.
What?
So she came to the college. I bought the chair, of course.
Nice.
Like, it was pretty awesome to see her. But, and then just to have her tell me how much dance influenced her and how and it wasn't the biggest program. Program was only there for a couple years, but how she, because of that, that's what got her into doing social dance. She wasn't afraid, and that's how she met her husband. And now they both dance together, and he's a competitor, and it was really wild. So, and that's not just one story. I could probably tell you 10 to 15 or even more of all these stories of people who, and then that's that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like that, okay, that's success. Because then you're like, wow, I made a difference for somebody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You got one.
Yeah, I already brought it up.
Oh.
The one with the lady that had an injury. She's over 60, overweight, fell, broke 5 different bones, and was unable to walk for a year. Like, just getting someone back to what they were able to do before is huge. Getting people to do something they thought they would never do is huge. And helping people accomplish what they set out to do is also amazing. And there's so much more, like you said. There's
like the little goals of like, Miss Julia, like today I did my walkover, or I did this, and I'm like, heck yeah. And like they're practicing at home, like they have this goal, and the parents are like, I've never seen them like so focused and like trying to do something. And I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. Or even like older students who like danced when they were young, and then they come back finally and start dancing again, and then how good that feels for them to finally have something that is for them. Because too many times we, do the life thing, have kids, jobs, forget about ourselves. So we get to be a part of that journey too. I think that's the thing, you get to be a part of so many people's journeys.
Yeah.
In a positive way.
Yeah, it's really
Like you're a positive part of that puzzle, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending loop of positive experiences coming
Yeah.
your way.
And you never know when you're going to hear about it or see it, or sometimes I run into them randomly, and I'm like, hey, like, hey, and then they're like, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So, yeah, I think that's definitely one of the most awesome things about it. Yeah, I wouldn't give that up. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a labor of love.
Most definitely. That's the thing, is like, someone once told me that you have to find the vacations in every day. some people are trying to like escape their everyday life to get to a vacation. But if you can create the environment that you want to be in, that's like one of the coolest things. And then seeing that other people are enjoying it too, that's probably one of the ones that has been starting to sink in with me a little bit deeper recently. Is like noticing that what I've put my mind and time and effort into is now giving other people the same feeling that I've been trying to surround myself with. So that's pretty amazing. I'm looking forward to this hike this weekend.
Yeah.
Those are some of those like moments, and I look forward to that stuff.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous every time, and then I do it, and I'm like, I did it.
It's a beautiful place.
Are you kidding me? Compared to the competition you just did this last weekend, a hike is nothing.
But that was like only 30 minutes. 35.
But it was
took me 35
way
minutes,
more
but-
intense. Way more intense.
Yeah, but I didn't
A
puke.
hike
I
is
was
just
proud. I
walking.
was just proud of that. I'm like, I didn't puke and I didn't pass out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the hike is I think I get nervous because it's like once you're there, you're there. Like there's no.
But once you get to the top, you go back down. That's the easy part.
Yeah, but it's a long time to
Yeah.
get to the top.
It's not like Stevens Trail. It's not
It's
like
not like
Stevens
there I
Trail.
could've
You
been
don't
like,
go
I'm
down and
done,
then come
tap
back
out.
up.
You can't tap out. You're kind of like, well,
No, you can't tap out.
I can
That's
roll
true.
down the mountain. So,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to tap out anyways.
nah. The first one, I always like, I don't know. That was rough. But now I feel like I'm a pro now.
Yeah, that was it's one of my least favorite hikes.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
you go
didn't-
down, then you have to come back up at the end. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I didn't. It took me a while. I sat for a minute. I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. But that's okay. I got there.
You just have to channel all the things that you would say to your students when they want to give up.
It's pretty, yep. But I did it. So I'm going to do it again. You're coming on this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
she's
go.
leading it.
She's leading.
I've been there before.
Yeah, I never have.
Is there water?
There are lakes at the top.
That's the selling point.
Done. I'm good then.
Multiple lakes.
I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And the weather's not supposed to be too hot.
No, it's actually going to be beautiful, I think.
Yes.
So that's exciting,
Great weekend.
A community building event.
right? That's one of the things with Cut that I also am in love with, that there's more than just the personal training. I've met some awesome friends. I've done things outside of the gym. Like, you know, I'm busy. I work a lot, so I don't really have this big social life. Like, I generally don't have a whole lot of time for that. So, and I want to be hiking and paddleboarding and doing all these. I just don't know anyone who does stuff like that. So, now I do. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's tough when your kids are younger, but I want to continue to encourage you to open up the idea of bringing them with you. Because, like, when Parker was little, I just bought a pack. I invested
You say
200
that,
bucks.
but I don't know
And
if
you
you
just put 'em
fully
in the
understand
pack.
what you're signing up for.
No, it's a kid. Like, kids are so easy, to be real.
You think 4-year-olds are easy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to take you up on this offer.
So, you
and
know, my first
strap
ever,
him on your back.
You know, my first ever job was actually working in Child Care and Kids Club. So I did 3 and under and 3 and over. And it was one of my most fun jobs where all you're doing is playing with them.
You know what?
And
Then
it's
you know what?
all
We'll
you
do
do.
it one day. I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
go for that. I just feel that for me.
Why do you think he remembered me at the dance performances? Because I played catch with them for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he noticed
But a
me in
10-mile
dark room.
hike is a whole different ballgame with a 4-year-old.
Yeah, you can carry kids.
That's the point.
There's definitely some motivation that needs to happen when kids are hiking. This is why my kids don't come on hikes, and they're not 4-year-olds old. They're much older, but they don't like to hike. So
Oh, I don't think Bella would hike ever. No. No.
Yeah, that's a teenager. That's a different
Yeah,
story.
she's not.
Kids are easy. Teenagers,
I can't even get her to go
not so much.
paddleboarding. She's like, she dances.
well, at
That's
least
it.
that.
So that's good. At least she's
Yeah.
moving.
And
As long as
she's-
she's moving
She's
and doing
great
something.
at it too.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal dancer.
But I think that going back to the community, like I do think that really helps people stay committed to the gym, and probably also with dance, because you have, obviously it's a little bit different with dance because you're working towards a performance. So you
Not always.
Okay.
So, I mean, some people, it's just like the gym. It's the same. Like some people are there because they want the exercise. Some just maybe aren't a football player, or some are just, I mean, I will say 80% of them are wanting to be on that stage and look forward to the costumes and the lights and that end game. Because it is a major adrenaline rush when you, I can't even explain it. Before you go out on that stage, you're just like, ah!
Yeah.
And then
It's nerve-wracking.
it's adrenaline, like, and it's like a rush. And then the minute you hit the stage, it just comes out. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty awesome. So, and then you're done. And then you're like, woo, when's the next one? So, I think everybody has their different reasons for why, but not everybody likes to perform. Like Parker didn't want to perform at all, but she likes taking hip hop class.
She's a perfectionist, that's why.
Yeah. I'm working on her.
But the community too can help with that, I think, if they
Yes.
feel accountable to the rest of the performers, where you feel accountable to the people in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that so and so is expecting me this morning, so I gotta go, even though I don't want to.
No, it's huge.
Yeah, it was actually Parker's friends that kept her in soccer, because there was like 1 or 2 years where she just wasn't feeling it, and losing definitely doesn't help.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel good. But her
Fair.
her friends kept her in it, and so yeah, the community, friends definitely helps out a lot. But I actually wanted to ask you a question. So is this
Let's go.
gonna be your first time being in a teaching leadership role?
At this level, yes. I mean, I've certainly done teaching before at lots of different ages. But now that I've got my first semester under my belt, where I've gotten the feedback, I've gotten the student evaluations back, and they were all really positive. I got my peer review from another faculty member, and that was all positive.
Sweet.
So now I kind of feel like, okay, I
Sure,
know what I'm
everybody's here to
doing.
take over.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, Professor Perucci. Sounds good.
Are you going for full time? Is that the ultimate goal? Or are
I
you
mean,
just
I don't have a
like-
PhD, so I can't.
Oh,
I couldn't.
Some places you do. Some places you
Yeah.
don't. Depends on where you're at. But yeah, the PhD would be.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. There was a time where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a PhD, and I'm like, no, that's a lot of writing.
Yeah, I don't
think
have that.
I still think about it, but then I'm like, why? Just so I can do it. I don't know.
No, if I were going to do more education, it would be something else. It would be nutrition or, I don't know, something that I could use to help a different community, like menopausal women, where like there's just not enough resources out there of people who really know how to help them.
Good idea.
Yeah, I was actually blown away when the couple people that I reached out to for advice had like nothing for me. I'm like, really? Aren't you like a woman that goes through that? And they didn't have much for me.
It's shocking as I have been learning, like even doctors like for women are not trained about, they like spend like, a couple of weeks on that phase of women's lives. And so they don't really know.
Pretty important phase of the life.
It's most of your life as a woman.
Yeah.
It's most of your life.
Yeah.
So,
Not there yet. I'm kind of nervous.
but everything changes, and your nutrition needs change, and your exercise needs change, your sleep changes, and so when you are trying to stay active, or if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to get stronger, I mean, you're losing muscle mass, you're losing all these critical functions from the loss of estrogen, and then like everything kind of falls apart. So it is really a very specific set of habits and, you know, routines that you need to reestablish because everything that you've been doing stops working.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be something that you, I mean, I don't know, at least maybe do some or look into. I mean, if there's not people out there,
There's
that
definitely
kind of
not
scares
enough.
me because
There's
I know
definitely not
eventually
enough.
I'm going down that road.
Yeah, I know Leslie connected with someone in like Tennessee that gave her some.
Yeah, Leslie, I remember she was telling me she was struggling with like the weight portion of it, and she's super healthy. Like she works out all the time. She's in great shape. And then she just said that it wasn't like
Yeah, but just eating.
she was
healthy-
struggling with
just
what was
eating
the
healthy
right
isn't
plan
gonna
for
take care
her.
of it all. And then I know cortisol levels don't help because it shuts certain systems off, and a couple people specifically, I could tell they're stressed, and I feel like one of the biggest things is finding more like a tranquil environment. Which, if you're at a job that is stressful, like that's not gonna
Yeah.
help get it done.
Yeah, I've dealt with cortisol. Went through that the last.
It literally
Couple
kills
years.
you over time.
It was killing me. It was slowly killing me. So, but I think not just the exercise part. You have to find time to relax.
Yeah.
Like there has to be things that you do that are not like stressful. Like even exercise can be stressful. Dance can be stressful.
yeah.
So like
Meditation is huge.
take a bath. I take baths like
Yeah.
every day. It's like that's my relaxation. So
Well, and I think some people, I think it's kind of common for people to say, like, oh, the gym is my therapy. It was like, well, no, gym's the gym.
right.
Yeah.
If you need
Yeah.
therapy, then you should go get therapy.
Right.
It's not the same.
It's not.
It is great for your mental health, no question.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's
Yeah, it
other
doesn't
But
ways.
it's not
replace-
actual therapy.
it does not replace actual therapy.
No.
It shouldn't.
No, and there's got to be times where you're just slow,
Right.
where you're not, and your body can decompress and your
Definitely.
mind can decompress.
Yeah.
So, and that's been something I've been learning now because I'm kind of like a natural caffeinated human. So, I'd probably sleep 5 hours a night still, and I'm just go. So learning to go slow, I'm like,
Yeah, it's refreshing to
hard.
know that there's someone else out there like that.
but learning to do things slow has been a process. But it's also something I know that I need to do, especially, you know, dealing with certain things. I'm like, okay, I've got to learn to just sit down and be quiet and clear my head and let my body reset and not. Although I really feel like it's kind of got a mind of its own because I don't always want to be jumping around, and it would be nice to be able to have regular caffeine coffee and not look like an Energizer bunny, but it's fine. I'll take it. I think it's probably better than the other way
Yeah, like
around.
mushroom coffee.
I have been drinking mushroom coffee, and I drink decaf because I had someone say to me, "You got to stop drinking coffee," and I'm like, I drink decaf. Like I don't even drink coffee.
Mushroom coffee.
It's not like a psychedelic mushroom. It's,
No.
it's just regular mushrooms. It's, I don't drink it, but I've heard it's great for you. Mushrooms are really good for you.
Yeah.
I love them.
There's so many different kinds.
has,
I think
like, lion's
Lion's
mane.
mane is the one that sticks out to me. It's got adapted.
ashwagandha. I can't pronounce half of them,
Oh, is
but
that a mushroom?
Yeah.
Is that a mushroom?
No, that's.
oh, it's not. I don't know. It says mushroom coffee, and then I've got
Well,
different
it could be a
ones.
mixture
But
of stuff. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
there's another one I'm gonna try that's called mud water, and it's supposed to be more
I've heard
just
of
the
that too.
mushrooms and then not coffee in it because I figure if I'm drinking decaf, what's the point, anyways? But
Yeah, for real.
that tastes like a mix between a tea and a coffee. What's that one that starts with chai? Chai, like a chai. So I don't know.
Chai is good.
Thought I'd try it.
I'm not a fan of chai.
So no, I don't know if I'll like
I
it or not.
tried. I've had it like twice. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, but in the morning, I like to get up at 5 and have my whatever it is. I don't care as long as it's warm, and sit there with no
So that's your
children.
quiet
That's
time.
my quiet time. So, I just can't drink actual coffee. Doesn't work. I mean, I could. Why not? I don't think people would like me very much. Like, get her out of here.
No, I think you're plenty likable without coffee in your life.
Okay, are there any more questions on there?
I have one question that is, what's a piece of conventional wisdom that you disagree with?
Ooh, disagree with.
I need an example of conventional wisdom.
Calories in, calories out.
Oh,
I disagree with that.
Definitely if you're in.
I think that one of the biggest things I'll say is the society's way that groomed us to believe that there was a one size fits all, because there's not. Whether it comes to nutrition, exercise, movement, it don't matter. And then making us all believe that we all could do the same thing and it's going to get the same results, because it's just not. Like, it's just, it doesn't exist. And then, I think it prevents a lot of people from going out there to find what's right for you. And then you spend all this time doing all these stupid things, wasting your time. And then, you get older, you get wiser, and you start to go, you know what? I'm just going to do what I feel I need to do for me. Like, I need to eat protein. I need protein. Yeah. I cannot be vegan. I tried. My body don't like it. So it's not going to work for me. And then calorie deficit doesn't work for me either, because if I do that, then the minute I start eating more calories, I start to gain weight very quickly. So that doesn't work either. I just need to eat right, weight lift, exercise, and then just be healthy. Really, actually pretty simple. It really wasn't like that difficult.
I do think that there is that tendency, and I noticed it a lot with parenting, where you would read these articles and it was just like, well, just do this and then your kid will be like this or behave this way. Or it was like, nope.
They're all different.
That just can't be true.
yeah, you were saying something about one size fits all, and then with what you just said, something that I think about with personal training. So I could have a class that all do the same 5 movements, and 2 of them will feel it one way, 2 of them will feel it another way. This person, like, I don't even know what's going on. So same thing with the kids situation. Kids are who they are. So the conventional wisdom that I disagree with is that you can write out a program without ever actually meeting someone and expecting it to deliver the same results to everyone that participates. Not even taking into consideration what if someone is going through menopause. What if someone has, forget what it is. It's, I'm going to let it go, but it's like, it's a condition, thyroid.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's multiple different things that you kind of have to take into account. And then it's why I love personal training, because every person is different. You got to train them differently. So there is no cookie cutter program. There is no Insta gym.
I feel like I need to drive by just look at it. I want to go inside.
Let me see this marketing.
Just got to see what's going on.
What's your program, actually?
How is it instant?
Starvation diet.
Right.
And cardio.
Which is probably what it is. Like, run
And lots
and
of
don't
coffee.
eat. All right. Yeah. I think that I could probably come up with a lot of those.
Yeah.
I don't believe in a lot of the garbage they shove down our throats, but yeah.
No, seeing some of the social media posts kind of bug me with showing that they'll be able to get results in 6 weeks. And I'm like, what exactly are you doing with them? And I think a lot of the times they just take their best 2 to 3 testimonials and put it out there and then just pitch it like it's going to work for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's bullshit.
I mean, you can't even, like, I have dance curriculum, but I have to adapt it no matter what, constantly. It's the only way to do it.
Okay, so wrapping up, what what are you guys looking forward to accomplishing in the next 3 to 6 weeks that is growth oriented, something that you've maybe never done? I know for me, completing the 3rd podcast episode.
Oh, you took the best one. No, I don't know.
I got my easy
I
out.
don't know. I don't even think that far ahead. I feel like
3 to 6 weeks isn't very far. You talk about schedules months out. I'm like, that freaks me out.
oh, my whole year is planned out.
Yeah, see, it's
I don't
Well,
think
you kind of have to.
I kinda
with
have to.
everything you have going on.
there'd be a lot of upset people if I didn't. What's wrong with you? I think just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. It's working, so I'm gonna stick
agree.
with that. That's my goal.
you are a go-getter for sure.
I'm gonna try to successfully launch my teenager into the world.
Hey, that's a goal.
Not in the next 6 weeks, but you know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
get
Oh, they're
him.
going off to college.
He's going to be a senior, and has no real plan, not really, other than going back to Namibia, which is where he was this summer. So
No, never know.
I think if his mind's in the right spot, he's gonna do great. Whatever he decides.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
yeah,
I got a few of them.
yeah,
To figure it out.
yeah.
Sweet. Well, there's all of our goals, and Christina, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.